Let's talk anime. Hello and welcome to Brandon's Discuss Anime, the Reckless Amoeba podcast. I am Brandon Horvath, and with me are my co-hosts, Brandon Falinger.
It's fine, don't worry. I'm not drooling after we talked about food earlier.
Delicious, delicious food.
And from what I understand, you're going to make it all worse.
Maybe? Also with us, as usual, Ryan Stokely.
Hey, how's it going?
So, Brandon, Ryan, and people out there, are you all fans of Vor? Well, fans of Vor can now be happy because there's a Kirby pillow that will eat your head.
Oh.
I'm kind of surprised they haven't done this already with the Piranha Plant, now that I'm thinking about it.
What?
But
I assume it's like a plushie hat, right?
it's a plushy pillow that you can lay inside.
Oh, okay.
And I think we mentioned Vor to you, Ryan. It's a sexual fetish of being eaten.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah,
Yes,
that's
but
fine.
now Kirby can eat your head.
That's strange. Super
Yes,
strange.
I mean, the fetish itself is kind of strange.
it's coming out on Premium Bandai, I believe, later this month.
Interesting. Very
Huh?
interesting.
People are strange.
People are strange.
That's a word for it. That's definitely a word for it.
$85 scheduled shipping in May 2019.
That's... Wait, so you buy it now and then you have to wait till, like, next year?
That's how Premium Bandai works.
Yeah, pre-ordering, basically.
It should be out next year at this time, maybe if they have any in stock.
That's a phone call. Give me 1 second.
Okay. Okay, so Kirby pillow eating your head.
I mean, I think it would be better as a plush hat, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, where Corey's just, like, got his mouth around your head, and it's kind of like a, almost like a beret, actually, would be a cool way to think about it. Hell, they could do that with a few of them. Like, they could do that with fucking the Piranha Plant, from Mario. They could do that with, hell, they could technically do it with Yoshi if they wanted to.
Victory Bell.
Well, there you go, Pokemon, Victory Bell. They have a couple of those, actually, because of the different series. Like, Carvana was one. Or not Carvana, fuck, it was the Venus Flytrap one. I don't remember what its name is off the top of my head.
When I used to watch Pokemon, there was a running gag of Victory Bell always eating James's head.
Oh, no, that's never gone away. It's just a matter of which Pokemon's doing it this time around.
Oh god, that joke's still around?
Yeah. I don't... Look, I can't say for sure after Gen 4, because I stopped watching. But up until that point, that running gag was still going.
Oh god.
Like, I try to remember, there was... No, it was not... I think it was Chimecho, actually, in Gen 5 that did it. Except it was, like, not eating them, but it was hypnosis, almost. And it didn't realize it was doing it. But yeah, no, it starts changing. I wouldn't be surprised if we see it again in, like, recent ones. Just because they kind of altered it a little bit. But yeah, there's been a running gag of someone getting fucked up. Because of their Pokemon. I mean, hell, what was it? It was in Gen 4 where every time Brock tried to hit on someone, his Krogan comes in and just poison jabs him in the stomach and drags him away.
Oh, man.
Brock will never get a date.
Hey, look, he had Professor Ivy. We have no idea what the fuck happened with her. He never talks about it.
It was traumatizing, whatever it was.
Whatever it was. But you never expanded on it. Which would have been cool to see.
Maybe some H.
this play
Dojin
fan-
explains it.
Of course there is. Like, do you even think that they would let something go like that? There's got to be one that talks about it. So I did manage to finish Pillars of Eternity this week. I did not think I would manage to have the time, but I did. And a lot of different stuff than I had expected had happened in that expansion. For instance, like gods trying to kill each other.
Huh.
And causing, like, mass destruction on the globe. Let me put it this way. There was a god that literally pulled a moon down to hit the planet.
That's pretty dope.
And another god got in the way, managed to smash the moon, but not before a piece of it just, like, killed him by breaking his skull open.
Didn't Sephiroth try to do something like that?
I couldn't tell you.
No, it was just a normal meteor he summoned. Okay.
But, yeah, another god got in the way, smashed the moon. Part of the moon broke his skull in, but he managed to save the planet from being destroyed. And then other god that originally pulled the moon down decided, you know what? Nobody should be allowed to remember this. I'm gonna make everybody build a fucking abbey around this giant-ass skeleton to hide it.
Is it Downton Abbey?
No.
Which is the only abbey I know about.
No, I'm sorry. It's not Downton Abbey. I can't tell you it's that reference. No.
And that's the last time I'll mention that.
Probably. But yeah, point is, right, gods were fucking up the planet pretty hardcore. But, yeah, I finished that up. So now I have, like, a character that is ready to go into 2. And I looked at how to, like, import characters to 2. Apparently, you can just literally click import, or you can take a character that may not have been finished and just make those, like, major decisions, once you've gotten to that point in the tutorial.
I wonder how importing will work for Banner Saga 2 when we get around to it.
Did you have, is said character alive and is said character with you? If yes, he's here. If no, he's not.
Oh, so it's just a simple continue game button?
As far as I'm aware, that's the case.
Cool. So it won't be that hard.
Now, I'm not saying there may not be another party that we're dealing with like we were in the first one. Like, of new characters.
Okay.
But we'll probably still have control of the original old ones.
Yep, like Rook Luigi.
Oh god, you just love that character.
Kind of.
Just like you love Tachibana.
God damn it, Tachibana.
Look, for all you know, he's infiltrated the podcast already.
No.
He's taking it over from the inside.
No.
He's just silently telling Orion what to say right now.
No, he's not.
See, that's what Tachibana would make him say.
Lies.
Lies.
What lies? It's truth. Good old Tachibana, aka Touch Your Banana.
Hey now.
Hey, look, that's just his name. Just like Mr. Libido.
Mr. Libido.
There's legitimately a character in Yakuza 0 named Mr. Libido who just does constant pelvic thrusts and is in nothing but his underwear and shoes in broad daylight.
He is ridiculous.
He's the greatest character ever, and we should really do his side quest.
We'll get around to it by the time... Wait, no, not by the time this goes up, because
I have no idea when. Hey, look, for all we know, that episode's dropping right around the time this comes out.
Maybe. Yeah, because we are a bit farther ahead now with this podcast.
Hey, look, something to look forward to, if that's the case.
Yay! Anything else?
Red Dead Redemption 2 is selling really well. However, it's an extremely overdone game for no reason.
That's Rockstar, right?
Yeah. The ones that have been working 100-hour work weeks to do it.
So it's like Grand Theft Auto, but Old West?
Yep.
Yes and no. There's a lot more detail put into it for no reason other than to say, hey, look, we did it.
It takes place in what, 80 something or something like that?
Right around the time of the Western expansion, I believe. But they're in Texas.
Yeah, because I saw like the one town actually had like poles up with like wires and shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, of electric.
yeah, telegraphs and stuff.
Yeah.
No phones yet, so at least as far as I'm aware, I think it's just telegraphs. But yeah, like there is so much extra horse shit in there that from what I've heard, that it's ridiculous. Like there's literal points of horse testicle shrinkage.
Yep.
Why?
Why
Because
not,
they gotta
man?
work those 100-hour work weeks for it.
On horse testicles.
Yeah. Not to mention, like, these luxurious animations of the guy, like, skinning the deer or whatever animal you hunt down. The fact that there are multiple tiers of animals in there for no real reason other than to just make you be there longer.
I'm just wondering, what does the animator think who had to work on horse testicles?
I don't know, you can ask the same one who decided to make the cowboys fart.
Well,
I'm not even joking.
well, that's my life now.
Like, you could literally just sit there talking to some of the cowboys, and, like, there's one that I know was shown where they're, like, playing a game of poker and you could join them, and as they're, like, playing poker in front of you, you'll hear it go off and them just wave their hand behind their ass to wave away the smell. And I'm just sitting there like, but that's completely unnecessary and pointless.
But it adds realism to the game.
That's the point. It's become like a hell of a lot more of a simulator than the first game was.
Yeah.
From what I remember, people didn't really like the simulator aspect to begin with in the first one too much, to the point where they tried to find glitches to get around it. Like when they skinned animals in the first one, they were like, hey, look, if you get on top of the animal with your horse, the horse will glitch out and you can skip past the skinning animations because it took a stupidly long amount of time. But for 2, it seems like they've doubled down on this shit real hard. Which, you know, that's fine and dandy. The problem is it does so much different stuff that it's real hard. But whether it's hunting, whether it's just, you know, like going down after outlaws, whether it's being an outlaw yourself, what have you.
But now for something that doesn't take a stupidly long amount of time. Today's podcast.
That's debatable.
Main
It's true.
feature.
Actually, you know what? For how long the series is, yes, you're correct.
Yes. Today's main feature is actually a American cartoon.
As you can tell by the title card, it's not anime this time.
Nope. Over the Garden Wall.
Oh, I watched a bit of this.
Oh, nice.
Nice. So you do know what we're talking about for once.
Yeah, I watched like maybe 2 or 3 episodes.
Mm-hmm. They're
But,
only like 15-minute episodes, though, so
yeah.
they're short.
Yeah,
11 to be technical.
it looked pretty interesting. Like just like the title card of it or whatever. So I think it's on Netflix, right?
Hulu.
Okay.
So I assume you have an idea of what it's about then, Orion.
Yeah, it's about 2 brothers, right?
Yeah.
And the one's older, and I'm trying to think what the heck. I forget from there actually. They go into like the forest or something,
Mm-hmm.
and some shit goes down. I think.
I mean, pretty much every episode, but yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's all I know.
So the story basically centers on 2 brothers that are lost in the woods trying to find their way home.
Okay.
And as they go on, they run into, like, crazy shit with each episode. One of which is literally a town full of skeletons that wear pumpkin heads and human clothing.
And there's another one where it's a school for animals.
That's cool.
And that just reminded me of a very 1930s style of cartoon.
Oh yeah, because it's one room school. Like, that's one of the weird things about this series is that while they're in the woods, the time period seems to jump around a lot. Like, it's one room schoolhouse with that episode, but we'll go to another one and it feels more like, 1950s.
Mm-hmm.
And from what the kids have as far as, like, memories go, they're from probably, like, late 80s, early 90s.
About that time.
Because they're using cassette tapes, they're not using CDs.
Spoiler.
Anyway, if you wanna take a cut off of this for a minute, the food has arrived.
Okay, delicious
I shall
food.
be right back and grab it. I hath returned bearing burger in hand.
Delicious burgers.
No, just one burger, just one. Although it is double, with bacon and mushrooms
No cheese?
and cheese
Ooh, cheese.
and ketchup. But none of that mayo garbage. Get that out of here.
Yes, we know how much you despise mayonnaise.
Just does not taste good. I get one taste and I'm just like, no, it tastes right. It's not natural.
So, more episodes deal with just traveling through the forest, trying to find this witch who might send them home.
Or at least have a way to help them get home. I forget Adelaide. Her name was Adelaide. Wood.
Who is
Also-
voiced by Eric Idle from Monty Python.
Well, I mean, there was also the whole talking bluebird that they find, and that doesn't leave them alone.
And besides Eric Idle, the two biggest voices I heard of were Elijah Wood as the older brother and Christopher Lloyd as the
AKA
woodman.
Yeah, I know.
Awesome.
Who played the Beast? Because they also warned the kids when they first get in there about a beast.
Samuel Ramy, who is a singer, but I do not know anything about him.
He plays I Am Weasel from like Cow and Chicken.
Really?
It's the same voice.
I didn't know that, huh?
As soon as I heard the Beast speak, I'm like, that's fucking I Am Weasel.
Huh.
Where's Baboon hiding?
Well,
Is he doing the victory dance somewhere?
maybe because I really didn't like I Am Weasel, that voice kind of left me, but
What is wrong with you? Dear God, all of the good shit you just don't seem to like.
Cow and Chicken was kind of off my radar, but I did like Dexter and Johnny Bravo.
I mean, Cow and Chicken was nuts, though.
It was.
It was great.
There's literally a lost episode that, like, I think aired once and never aired again, that literally had biker lesbians come in and start munching on the carpet in their house.
Huh?
They even tried to, like, induct Cow into the group.
And it's probably on YouTube somewhere.
Oh, it is. That's where I found it.
Oh, man.
Like, it was so stupid. But, like, Cow and Chicken had a lot of weird episodes, which is what made it interesting. Kind of like Rocco does.
Yes.
Or you had that weird, trippy cop. Plus, you had the red guy who was just straight up a devil in a kid's TV show. As a recurring character. Like, you got away with it when it came for, like, the Animaniacs, where they did, like, a one-off with the devil.
Mhm.
Cow and Chicken had a recurring character that was literally the devil. And he walked on his butt.
So, the Bluebird is trying to get them to Adelaide for unknown reasons
Well, she says she's got to go and find Adelaide herself.
to turn her into a human.
Yep. Because apparently she screwed up and messed with a witch and got turned. Her and her family got turned into bluebirds.
Oh.
She's out trying to figure out, how to fix that.
And everybody says bluebirds are bad luck.
Which I don't know what that's from, now that I'm thinking about it. I don't know why bluebirds would be considered bad luck. Like, I don't know if they're pulling that from a superstition somewhere or what.
I am not sure, because, like, halfway through the series, you find out that when she was human, she pissed off a bluebird, and the bluebird turned her family into bluebirds. Not a witch.
Well, let's not forget, fuck. What was the whole grandmother one? And the girl that she had with her. What was she called? Mummy something or Grammy something?
Oh, yeah.
Where it's like, it felt Miyazaki as fuck.
Yes.
Like, it felt like that original witch you meet in Spirited Away, who's like, literally got everyone working for her. Like, between that, like, between the fact that she not only, like, has everyone's name, in this case, in this show, the woman has a bell that could control her.
Auntie Whisper.
Auntie Whisper, that's it. Where it's like, she rings the bell and all of a sudden the girl's, like, in a trance and has to do what she's told.
To prevent her from thinking too much? Or what was it?
Because she has a demon inside her, and the demon will make her do naughty things.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of which, does that also not remind you of a certain character in another series that we talked about? In another American series?
Another American series.
Pacifica Northwest.
Oh.
Now, I'm not sure which one did this idea first, because we found out about Pacifica's thing in, like, the second season.
Mm-hmm.
And with that being as staggered as it was, I don't know which one came out first. But they used the same idea. Although it's not magical in Pacifica's case, it's literally like psychological training to make her do shit. Which is just rather interesting to see that two shows that came out very close to one another both have this idea in them.
But it's in Pacifica's case, it was more like Pavlov's dog.
Well, that's what I mean. It's training. She's trained to be that way. In Auntie Whisper's case, it's magical.
And what is the frog's name? Because it changes every episode.
Yeah, so the little brother finds a frog at some point before they entered the woods, and has literally just been changing its name each and every time.
One time he names it Wirt, which is the name of the older brother, and he's like, "Oh, no, not you, Wirt, I'm talking about the frog."
Hell, there's an entire episode where they're, like, on a freaking steam ferry from the not even 1900s, like, back in the 1800s, they had that. Like, mid-1800s, I want to say. It was like a steam ferry that you would see from, like, Huck Finn? I want to say that time period. Filled with frog people.
And the main character frog, whose name constantly changes, has a beautiful baritone voice.
Yes, it can talk, which never happened until that episode.
And never happens again.
It's only that episode he talks. And in that case, it's only, I think, in singing. I don't think he talks literally. Like,
no.
plainly. Like, it's so stupid. Like, it's crazy. But that also shows to show you, like, how much they jump around in time period like this. Like, the frog thing is from, like, the mid-1800s, and then the one from Schoolhouse is from probably, like, late 1800s, I want to say.
Oh! I'm just here glancing on Wikipedia. Tim Curry was Auntie Whisper.
That's why she sounded so familiar. I thought she sounded familiar. Oh my god. Why didn't he do the It laugh?
This was far before it. Oh, no. It was in the 90s, yeah.
Why didn't he just go, wah, wah, wah? It would have been a nice reference.
For being such a scary thing, that's a stupid laugh. I'm sorry.
There are stupid moments in that movie, or the TV special, I guess is what it was. That point at the movie. Like there were real stupid moments in that.
That just sliced the horror away.
There's an entire moment where like a fucking library is just filled with balloons and nobody knows it.
What?
Yeah.
How could you ignore balloons?
Nobody knows it because apparently it's only the kid he's tormenting that notices it.
Yeah.
There's so many balloons, they're practically invisible.
Why are balloons scary exactly? I don't get it.
Spoopy.
It'd be one thing if they popped and blood came out, but none of that ever happens.
Well, the one scene in the second half of the It movie where they're adults
Come on, Georgie.
and I think they get Chinese food, and like in the fortune cookie or something, there's like a dead chicken.
Something.
Like
There was a dead
chick-fil-A?
something. I don't remember like the second half super well because I always see the first one and not the second.
Yeah, same.
But yeah, getting back to Over the Garden Wall, that it's great too because they're dressed up, so it had to have happened on Halloween, which I didn't know going into this whatsoever. All I had known when I first decided, hey, let's do this for the show, was, hey, it's a mini series and it's really good. Let's
It's
figure
won an
out what's
Emmy.
going on. I didn't even know about the
Oh,
Emmy.
really?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know about the Emmy
In
until you told me.
2015, it won an Emmy for Outstanding Animated Program.
Oh yeah, hell, just the moment where Wirt walks into like this tavern, and Wirt and his brother walk into the tavern. The Bluebird, for whatever reason, is kicked out because I think they were the ones that say that Bluebirds are bad luck, and they don't want her in. They're in there, and there's a moment where you just see this. What did he call himself? The Highwayman?
Yes.
I think just starts doing this random dance as he's like singing for everyone else. And it's got crazy ass animation going on in there.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's almost Tech-on Concrete levels of weird animation.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's just like so fluid and weird seeming because it's not natural the way the person is moving. Not to mention like we didn't even mention the frickin' the woodsman. Well, barely. You mentioned his voice act.
Yeah.
But there's a woodsman in there who's constantly got a lantern lit, and who has to chop down trees and turn those trees into oil to keep the lantern going.
For his daughter's soul to stay lit.
Yep. Apparently
Damn.
his daughter's soul is inside that lantern.
Lit, man.
And if it goes out, his daughter will die.
So sad.
It's hard to talk about this series just because there's not as much there as you would think for being a 10 to 11 episode miniseries. They don't have long to tell these stories, but each and every one is really freaking good.
Yeah, really condensed.
There's the point where they actually get to Adelaide only to find out that the Bluebird has betrayed them.
Adelaide wanted child servants. And Wirt and Gregory are 2 children.
I think Wirt's what, like 13? Just like barely hitting teenager years?
I thought he was more possibly high school.
Oh, you know what? No, he is. He is high school, but I think it might be early high school.
Yeah, like 9th, 10th maybe.
Yeah, somewhere in there. Greg's like 8.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't have any idea what's going on until like episode 9, where it kind of gives you the reveal of what happened immediately before they got into the woods. Like,
And
it just slaps you in the face because you have no idea it's coming until the episode starts.
the first 8 episodes are their own thing. Episode 9 is completely different. That I was like, okay, what's going on?
What basically happened is they just moved the order of the episodes in that what happened immediately before going into the woods is in episode 9 and not episode 1. And there's a reason for that. And
It's a twist.
And it's not a bad twist either. It's a pretty cool twist.
Yeah, what a twist.
There's the Beast, which the Woodsman warns everyone about, and everyone knows that the Beast is a threat. However, they say that the Beast carries the lantern, the same one that the Woodsman's carrying. So the kids assume that he's the Beast. He's not. He apparently fought and stole the lantern from the Beast. And the Beast is like, he looks humanoid, but he's got what seems to be like a fur cloak and really big antlers coming out of his head.
And is constantly shrouded in the shadows.
Yeah, he is only in black and has glowing white eyes.
Very menacing.
But do we even want to go into like the reveal of what happened or no? Because we're not doing a deep end for this. Because with it being such a short series, it's hard to like.
It's only
make a
one
deep end out
season.
of it.
One season, 10 episodes, released over the course of 5 days in late 2014.
It is just 2.5 to 3 hours of watch time to see it all. Think of it like a long-term movie. Like you're going to sit down and watch The Avengers or something.
That's how I kind of watched it.
Same. I think I cut it in half, honestly, but aside from that, yeah.
Actually, I may have did the same thing.
I cut it in half because I didn't have the time to sit down and watch it at that point because I was working on other stuff.
Yeah, although you could, because since each episode is 11 minutes, that would be under 2 hours watching it.
And they're about 12 minutes, but yeah.
11, 12 minutes.
Okay.
But yeah, you could easily sit down and watch it real quickly. It's very much worth it. It is a great, like, fall time movie to watch. Or series to watch. But yeah, we didn't really answer I don't think you answered the question, but do we want to hit the ending here or not?
Yeah, let's do it. But before we do, this was going to be a little bit longer with 18 episodes, but time and budget constraints got the best of them, and they had to shrink it down to 10.
Mm-hmm.
Although I could kind of seen it stretch a bit longer, but they did well for having to condense it into 10.
I'd be really curious to see what the other ideas would have been for those other 8 episodes.
Maybe like more crazy shenanigans. Maybe a bigger fight with the Beast near the end. Maybe like one more episode with that.
I would think there would have been a bit more development with the Bluebird too. I forgot her name though.
Beatrice.
Beatrice, that's it. Yeah, there would have been a bit more development with her, like, kind of getting over her problems and going after the boys, or making up with her family.
Maybe there'll be a Beatrice-centered episode.
There probably would have been. That would have been nice. Like, when she's, like, had that argument with them and, like, they've run off and she has no idea where they are. Like, there probably would have been an episode of her just dealing and living in Adelaide's house after she had died. And trying to figure out what to do with herself.
Yeah. Because Adelaide has these magical shears that can turn bluebirds into humans if you cut off their wings.
Yeah, clip their wings and you'll become a human again.
But the big twist is, as Brandon kind of alluded to earlier, it was Halloween night, and the boys were going out trick-or-treating, and something happened.
You got yourself a nice little teenage romance that was going to be revealed through a mixtape. However, the Wirt decided to back down off of that, because apparently there was a guy that was way cooler than him that was trying to date this girl instead.
Although, he didn't seem that cool to me.
The dude was literally a super nerd. It was just so hard super nerd. Like there's even a point where he's just like sucking on an inhaler.
What the hell?
but yeah, friends got like not friends, but friends of the other girl, Sarah, I believe was her name, right?
Oh, and the super nerd was actually voiced by the storyboard artist of The Misadventures of Flapjack.
Oh, nice.
I just looked that up now, so...
Well, I mean, the guy that made this worked on Misadventures of Flapjack.
Oh,
So
okay.
he has an in with those people.
I heard Flapjack, not to get sidetracked again, but I heard Flapjack had a extremely weird final episode. Weird even by the standpoint of the series.
I wouldn't know, because I was never super interested in Flapjack.
I've never watched, I've only heard of it, but I was like reading about like weird endings to series, and that is super, super weird.
It might be worth it just to pick up that last episode and watch it, I guess. But yeah, I didn't really like the hyper detailed grossness that the show went for with certain still shots. Like, you get a close up of Captain Knuckles, and he literally looks like the most disgusting thing on the planet. Like, you remember that episode of Dexter's Lab where he got the glasses that were super good at seeing, that like made his eyesight amazing?
Not quite.
There was an episode where that happened, and he saw everything in such perfect detail that it made everything disgusting and gross.
Oh.
Like, the minute I think he looked at Dee Dee's skin, or like her face, and he just saw like all the pores and pustules and all the other disgusting shit on her face. That just comes with being able to see perfectly.
So he's going to give his crush a mixtape at a Halloween party. Except the Halloween party goes accordingly well for the most part. Except for the police making jokes since it's Halloween, playing like little tricks on kids, like, hey, no jaywalking. I'm gonna come after you. You kids do whatever you want. Happy Halloween. So, Wirt and his teenage friends go hang out in a graveyard because, ooh, spooky, it's Halloween. The police roll up. Hey, what are you kids doing in this graveyard? Are you trespassing? So, the kids scatter. The police are like, no, we're kidding. The kids continue to scatter. They climb over said garden wall. The police are saying, get down, it's dangerous. And Wirt and Greg fall over the other side, tumble down the hill, land in the lake, and start drowning.
Episode 10 starts.
So, this whole series has been them in a coma.
In a coma, or what you could call the brink of death. Like, they're in that transition between life and death, and depending on their choices, they'll either come back or die.
Shocking, I know.
Well, actually, here's the thing, too. Hold on, let me pull this up for a second, because this is something that's actually poignant. So, you remember that, Brandon, you'll know this, you know that whenever the Beast comes on, you hear his song, right?
Yes.
Did you ever catch the lyrics?
No.
So, here's the main part that you usually hear, which is, come wayward souls that wander through the darkness. There is a light for the lost and the meek. Sorrow and fear are easily forgotten when you submit to the soil of the earth.
Oh.
It's a song about death. He's the fucking Reaper.
Oh.
Then there's the composer's cut, which I believe it doesn't come up all that often in the show itself, but this is the section from that continues on from the first part, which is, grow, tiny seed, you are called to the trees. Rise till your leaves fill the sky. Until your sighs fill the air and the night, lift your mighty limbs and give praise to the fire.
Oh.
Now, that's all sung to the tune of Oh Holy Night in a really slow, creepy way.
Oh,
Now-
and speaking about slow and creepy, I did find in episode 10, like, the corn and molasses, or whatever that song was.
It was potatoes and molasses.
Potatoes and molasses, but in number 10, it's sung in, like, really slow down, and I'm like, this is depressing.
Yeah, no, the beast is straight up death itself.
And
And
I'm
what the
all up for trying things, but potatoes and molasses sound like such a weird combination.
Give it a shot.
It's almost like sweet potatoes, I guess.
Maybe?
They're just not orange. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, the beast's whole thing apparently has been to get the
Souls?
what's his name? Not the souls.
The woodsman.
Get the woodsman to cut down a specific kind of tree, the Edelwood tree. That's the tree and wood he needs to make the oil for the lantern. Turns out the Edelwood trees are made of people who have given up and died. That's what their souls become. The trees.
And you find out his daughter's soul isn't in the lantern. It's the beast soul that's in the lantern.
So the beast has been tormenting the forester. What's his name? Fuck.
Woodsman.
Woodsman. I can't keep that name in my head for whatever freaking reason. He torments the woodsman to keep him alive. And there's only like one brief moment where the lantern flashes over the beast and we actually see what he looks like.
He's faces.
He's literally, he looks like a bunch of horror faces just grafted to his body. It's actually kind of horrifying when you see it.
And when does this character appear?
He's throughout the entirety of the series.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I think he comes in like episode 4 or 5, and he keeps coming in now and then, from then on, until the end of the series. But he is first mentioned in the first episode.
And Wirt is given a chance to save Greg, who was becoming one of those trees by being the new bearer of the lantern. But due to certain things, Wirt decides not to get the lantern, and via their conversation, realizes that it's the beast soul.
It's such a good series, too.
It is.
I have to watch it.
Like, I'll send you the link to the song, just so you can listen to it, and it won't, like, ruin things for you.
Okay.
So, Hulu has it. I don't know if CartoonNetwork.com has it.
I watched it through Daily Motion. They had it.
I watched it through there too.
Unfortunately, I did not know where else to find it. You said Hulu. I did not see it there, but, you know.
I
missed
heard
it somehow.
it was on Hulu.
Well, there you go. You heard. I didn't find it. I also don't have a subscription to Hulu, so, you know, there's also that. That fun stuff. But, you know, it's a good series. It's worth checking out. It's short, so it's not going to, like, be like you're there for hours on end to watch the whole thing. Like, it is solid. That is for sure. It is very solid as a show.
Yeah.
I highly recommend it.
Alright. Yeah, I'll probably finish it then. Because I really like the art style too.
Yeah, it's kind of similar to what the current art style is, what a lot of people call the Cal art style. But in this one, it works a lot better. Like, I'm not 100% sure on all the differences. One of which is that they actually have elbows and can bend their arms. They're not just limp noodles. But for the way this style is done, and especially because I think it's put into like more of a horror kind of thing, and they keep the colors really kind of like dim and dull.
Yeah, that's what I liked about it.
Yeah, rather than making it super bright and color-fluid like Adventure Time is.
I would say more dark fantasy than horror.
It's a little column A, little column B. Literally the fact that it's going to eat your souls.
Okay, I guess that's the horror aspect
Well, that and it's kind of existential horror, I guess. Like, especially after you find out in episode 9 what's kind of going on.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I would totally say go watch it, people. Orion, you said you're gonna pick it up
Yeah.
and try to finish it. So, what was your thoughts there?
There is a comic adaptation of this, 4 issues.
Oh, really?
Is it an adaptation of the story, or is it like additional stories? They could have used those extra 8-episode ideas and tossed them in there.
I am looking that up now. Oh, it seems to be more than 4 issues.
Ooh.
So I'm not 100% sure if they are additional stories or not.
Well, something to look at later.
As of this recording, 20 issues.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty cool.
Probably all up online. Maybe if you know the right places to look.
It wouldn't shock me if it was.
Probably on Amazon via omnibuses.
It wouldn't surprise me. But yeah, I would definitely say check it out. So, last thoughts for you, Brandon?
Go see it. This is incredible, and I highly recommend it.
Yeah. So I think that's it for this one.
So, next time, the war for the golden fruit begins. Don't say no. Just live more.
I'm pretty sure it's Don't Live Mo.
Live Moss.
Live Moss. Taco Bell.
Is that a transformation?
Taco!
My stomach hurts already.
Oh, God.
I could go for a taco. Alright.
Right.
Later.
Bye.